It's a lovely day, isn't it? And we're here laughing because we're all coming out. Have we actually come out from the celebration? I'm not sure. Nigerians, all our Muslim faithfuls within Nigeria and outside Nigeria celebrated the Eid al-Fitr. And of course, me, I've always said I'm a Chrislam. So I celebrate Christian and I celebrate Muslim because there's always enough to eat and to wine with when there is celebration and it's happening. I don't know if you did yours, low key or, went all out to make sure that money is spent. Whatever works for you, it's okay. But I know that within this divide, Hajia is in the house. Another Hajia is in the house. That's not the one you know already. Coach Didi is also here. We'll get to find out what they did with them with the time. But I know that within this period, while we are celebrating the Eid, the Christians are also warming up to celebrate Easter. And I'm wondering, is not a coincidence, or is it that we are having the two major religions in Nigeria having big issues around them, positive issue now around them? It tells us that we are blessed and that we should also be able to live as blessed people. Now my question is, are we more religious than we are spiritual? Because I tried to check, I even went to Google to ask, how many churches are in Nigeria? Google did not have answer. I went to Google again to ask, how many mosques are in Nigeria? Google did not have answer. But then I asked, what is the rating of Nigeria in corruption? Don't ask me the answer, because it was clearly there. And I'm wondering, if we are this religious without adding spirituality, is it good for us? I don't know, but let's go. Barka de Salah.
Barka kadai.
What did you answer me?
Barka kadai.
No, that's the first time I'm hearing that. Teach me the one I know.
It's Barka de Salah, Barka de Salah. We say Barka kadai.
Okay, Barka kadai. I'll answer that next time. Okay.
Well, it's good to be here after the long summer break, and I'm sure civil servants particularly enjoyed that because that was a very long holiday.
I was in the office.
Yeah. No, NTA now, essential services, quote unquote, but I know for the most part, civil servants would have enjoyed it most.
Exactly. Joy, girl.
Joy. What did I do? Because this is the small summer.
I know on Monday you didn't step out.
No, I didn't. I didn't. Yesterday, I went to see a friend who was sick, so that we just had fun. We just talking about Nigeria, a way forward, and talking about women as well.
That's interesting.
Yes.
And I saw you, promoting our program and the topic menopause.
Yeah, yesterday I think Oprah was on some station talking about menopause, and we just laughed. We said we set the pace because we're talking about menopause in Nigeria, and many people are watching, and it's
picking our topics.
Picking our topics.
And recycling it.
Oh, yes.
But it shows that we're heard. And then very importantly, we join forces to ensure that women are better.
Yes.
I also know that Hajia Hawa is joining us from somewhere within Abuja. Hajia, good morning. Can you, good morning, Hajia.
Good morning.
How was your Salah?
Fine, Alhamdulillah. Happy to be with you here this morning.
All right, I was just taught something now. Barka de Salah, Barka de Kadet.
Barka Kadai.
Barka Kadai. I don't know.
She said Barka Kadai, yes. This is a reply from a far north. They actually say Barka Kadai or Barka de Salah at the same time. It's still the same thing.
All right, I actually want to kickstart the show with you to find out what was Salah like for you?
So, Alhamdulillah. Actually, I must say this Salah took me by surprise. I was actually expecting 30, but the Ramadan ended at 29, Alhamdulillah. But most of the people said they were expecting to fast 30 days. But Alhamdulillah, that's the spirituality in it. And we are willing to fast up to 30, but as God have it, we are not supposed to dictate that. It's depending on the moon sighting. During Ramadan, you see high spirituality, but after Ramadan, people go back to normal ways. Stealing, lying, backbiting, gossiping, immoral
a little more
dressing,
conscious.
even the normal ritual activities will be abandoned and they will go back to their old ways. So hopefully this Ramadan will make impact and make a change that will give us a purposeful life, to give us a way to unify our country, our people, and our way of life.
Thank you so much. That was a good one, because I noticed during the Ramadan, I don't know, a lot of people, when I do something, they say, haram.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good. I should stay clear a little bit.
You know, when
I'm going to remind them now.
Yeah,
because Hajjah
after
just
Ramadan.
told me, if they do anything, I'll tell them, no, haram. You must continue with our spirituality.
You know, when she said something about, for me as well, I was almost sure it's going to be 30 this year.
Okay.
I remember I shared a joke some time ago. When I was serving, I had finished in university and I was almost 25. I had not gotten married. So I used to fast every Monday and Thursday. Every Monday, and I would end the fast with God, give me a husband. So when eventually, my husband, we met during NYSC. So we eventually got married. He was used to me fasting. So first week, second week, he said,
You
"Mommy,
didn't
are you not
fast."
fasting?" I said, "I was looking for a husband."
I don't find them.
I don't find him. Yes, so that's to the end. You know,
That's the truth.
So to be honest, I wasn't really keen on fasting. I do Ramadan because I'm Muslim; it's compulsory. So I was always looking forward to the 29 days. When it's 30s, I say I'm going to die. But for the first time, I was actually looking forward to the 30th, and I think that's the beauty of spirituality. And then it was 29. I was so disappointed. I said, "Yeah, you know."
I know it's actually a crime or a sin for you to fast on each day.
Yes, of course.
So
you cannot
you
fast.
can't
Yeah.
extend
No, you
it on
cannot.
your
No, you
own.
know, it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
No, but
we wanted 30, but
some
if
people
it's 29,
extend. Some people, I have Muslim friends, and I ask them why do they extend. They say maybe in between the fasting period, they had their time of the month. So most of the time they tend to add.
no.
No, it should be
cannot add.
after the Eid.
It's immediately after
You
Eid,
can
so
you can
pay it.
owe and add and
And
make
add,
up
okay.
after
Yeah,
Eid.
make up. And there's even voluntary ones you do 6
You
days
do,
for 6
okay.
days after Eid.
All right.
Okay, that's
day
nice
you
to know. And at the end of it, I was going to ask you message of Eid, but between you and Hajia Hawa, you just passed on the message and, of course, advised us on how to go about it. Our topic today is we being more religious than spiritual. And then, is there any points making two of them meet? Is it what would be the outcome, for us if the two of them meet? But then, on a random basis, I have a very wonderful team, working with them, especially young people. A question was thrown, and we took it to the streets. I know that he's there. He asked a question: if rapture drops now, I don't want to. I'm saying, hey, let's just leave it for you.
Hell, it's real.
And on the streets of Abuja today, we will be finding out this particular question we all need the answers to. Even you, but more so me. If rapture happens today, do we think most Nigerians will make it to heaven, considering our spirituality and religiosity? Come with me.
No, no. Of course not. Well, I can't really say Sha, because I don't really know the heart of people. But based on what is happening now, I think most of us, or most of Nigerians, let me put it that way, will make it to heaven.
If rapture come today, I don't even believe whether one person will go to heaven or see or make heaven, because we are not show that attitudes as a Christian to ourselves.
Um, it's a 50-50 thing. Yes, we are very prayerful in this country. We tend to believe in God. Oh, right, be right. Don't do wrong. Do right. But at the same time, we are hypocrites. We are more of we do things that we want people to see. Why behind we do the other part we don't want people to see. So it's a 50-50 thing. Rapture might happen now and Nigerians will go to heaven. Why some will not go to heaven? So
Don't worry about that. Even if I tell you, it's not me deciding, it's God.
That's mad, dude. I don't know. No, no, not most, not all.
Why?
Nigeria na bad place now. Corruption full everywhere. So everyone is corrupt. Only select few that might.
Actually, I don't really know if they will make heaven because everybody has his own belief.
I don't think so.
Sorry for the laugh.
Because the things we see, things are even more worse compared to those days. As people are righteous more those days, but now things of the world has really come into us, and that generation coming, it's just the grace we need. If not, if the rapture comes, I'm not judging, but most people might not go. Like those that claim that they are able men of God.
Everybody have seen the shaggy that you have to be closer to God day in, day out. So that's one step ahead to being a spiritual person than a religious person in the country. Yeah.
Let him cook now.
When you are spiritual, you are closer to God and you are not doing anything that is contradicting your conviction with God. You are 100% ready for that.
Me, man, I want to laugh because why was everybody laughing? Before I head back into the studio, let me tell you my own answer. I am very sure of one Nigerian that will be making it to heaven. Moi. And I am also sure that most Nigerians will make it to heaven because we just left the holy month of Ramadan and our Christian brothers and sisters are still fasting. So I'm hoping that it will gain us entrance to heaven. Let's head back into the studio.
I'm also sure of another person that will go. In fact, I'll be the gate man. More. All right, it was a good one, but it's so disappointing that almost everybody asked didn't have faith in Nigeria. You know, I forget that I laughed about it. It was a point of pause and think for me. I don't know what your takes are.
To be honest, this is the reality. Sure. This is our reality. Let's not try to, sugarcoat it. The thing is, the Nigeria we know today as it is, to be honest, like one person said, we're not ones to judge. We don't know because we believe that God is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. He's merciful. So by the mercy of God, we shall make heaven. Sure. But by our own deeds, or more nothing.
Joy?
I'm even laughing. I'm laughing. For once in my life, I'm speechless.
True.
Making heaven in this country. You know, the thing here is that everybody is fasting and we're even more wicked in the fasting, in the Ramadan, even in the Lent. If you notice, if you check the survey in Nigeria, between when the fasting started with the Muslims and the Christians, there are more criminality happening. People are off their guards when this time is coming because they expect that it's Ramadan and it's Lent and everybody is just there. But look at the things that have been happening. It's in the news. And sometimes I sit down and I wonder, after Ramadan, some people, after 7, they go haywire. Yeah. And I'm wondering, you're still in that, because the Ramadan takes 29 or 30 days. During Lent, after they break fast, they go back to their deeds. Yeah. And I'm sitting down and I'm wondering,
who is deceiving who?
We're deceiving ourselves. Because the bottom line, like you said, if rapture comes today, even me that I'm sitting here, I'm not going to pretend or lie. I don't even know whether I will make heaven. And the thing here, I remember donkey years ago, like 25 years ago or something, Pastor Inalegu said something on the pulpit. He said, if God just makes us peep into hell and see who is in hell,
you're surprised.
You'll be so surprised. So right now, I think Nigeria, we're in trouble.
It's true. It's a problem, really, because I'm looking at something here. It says, on Transparency International's 2024, that's just last year, Corruption Perceptions Index, Nigeria scored 26 on a scale of 100, 0 to 100. And that's big. That's like we came in the first quarter of corrupt people. Some will say that it's better than where it was, but then this is the whole country in the world, and we're scoring 26 as the most corrupt. It's sad. It's sad. I went to church on Sunday, and something happened. I told a man something that may not be too good, if you look at it. But then my children said I should have minded my business, but unfortunately, I didn't come with my business at the time, so I couldn't mind it. The guy was in the church and was on his phone.
Bam.
I'm actually on TV. I shouldn't be saying this. He was watching porn.
Oh,
Yep.
in church.
In church. In church.
Okay,
And I did not say anything. After, during the communion, I'm Catholic, that same person went to get communion. And when he came back, what did Elizabeth do? I tapped him. I say, this heaven, it's easier for camel to pass through needle than for some of us to make it. He looked at me and said, Madam, what do you mean? I said, search your soul.
And he was fasting.
That was what I told him.
No, but he was fasting.
It's possible. I don't know whether he was fasting or not. But I know this happened this Sunday, some couple of days back.
So if he's doing it in church.
That's the point.
It's the height.
That's the height.
It's the height of craze.
But
Do you
please,
understand?
can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
If he was watching it, did he have an earpiece on?
I don't know. Maybe he has it the
don't
other
have to
side.
have
But the
earpiece
side
now.
I
You
was
can just
sitting,
watch and not listen.
the side I was sitting, the ear was open.
Okay.
So he can also decide to mute. I don't know.
No, this is.
It was the height. So I felt mad. I just want us to maybe perhaps by the time we are done with our time here, show a little some of those small things Nigerians do, and they think it's okay to do it, and it won't take them to hell, because you see that thing Bible said it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for Christians or Muslims or whoever atheists, whoever they are, to get to the kingdom of God. It's real. Otherwise, I don't know why somebody who is going to church, on a Sunday, is beating all the traffic lights. And I'm watching you. You're almost running me off the road.
Thank you.
And then I now see you're inside church, you're acting all pious. You broke all the law to come here to act pious. Did you forget that the same Bible you're reading says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar? Give to Paul what belongs to Abi? Is it Paul or God?
No, but you see this thing that just happened. The guy was a leader, and I was, but I think he didn't know my can. I always say it. Let us do the right thing.
Yeah,
people
regardless
don't
of
have
who it is,
to,
yeah.
regardless of, people don't have to know you, because I realize that we behave a certain way in church where others are. Then when we get outside, our real characters come. And this guy beat the traffic, and this is a married man with his wife and kids in the car. I always tell people, when you do things, make sure even your kids are not there. So when we got there, we finished. He was in front of me, praise and worship, everything. So when we're leaving, I says, Oga, that wasn't nice. You beat the traffic. You know what he told me? You beat the traffic. I said, I didn't beat the traffic. I know what time church starts. So I make sure that I leave my house early, so that no matter where the traffic is stopping me, I'll get to church early. You beat the traffic. All you needed to say it was sorry, and you behave and change. And the guy just went off.
He got angry?
Yes, he got angry. That's typical of us. And especially he was a man. Oh, wow. So I guess he made it worse.
You're just a woman.
Yes.
Okay. Well, to be honest, can I go back to the story of the man and the church? You see, the thing is, I don't know, maybe because of my training, I have learned to leave people where they are in their lives.
Wow.
Yeah. I have learned to leave people where they are. It's a difficult thing, but it took time and practice. And I tell myself, if I see someone like that, I would feel, at least he made it to church. At least he made it to church, so he has a chance for salvation. There's somebody else who is at home doing that same thing.
Watching porn.
And he's not, yeah. You see,
both of them will go to hell.
No, not necessarily. You see, I think we
what I actually thought was that this man that has, if you were in your house watching it,
you don't.
For me, is forgivable. This one that is in the church,
everything is
he has
forgivable.
not beyond redemption.
No, he hasn't. Everything is forgivable.
Okay. I know.
That is why we have God.
I know.
So when people sin, when we sin, regardless of where we do it, it's still a sin. But it could be possible that person, as he's sitting in that church, there is a word that he will hear from that pulpit that will make him change his ways. It is possible. And I think that's where we should come from. We have this feeling that, some people are condemned, they cannot receive sense, they cannot get some. No matter how far gone you are today, you could get better tomorrow. Devon, you've not said anything today.
Actually, right now you sound more Catholic than Liz. But because this is exactly what Christianity, Catholicism preaches,
yes.
that no matter how far gone you are, God's grace has the capacity to pull you back. Where he did something egregious, where the Catholic Church is concerned, is you cannot take communion when you are not in a state of grace.
Yes.
And that means ahead of time, you go for confession, you confess. The priest he tells you what and what you should do to be in a state of grace so that you are worthy enough to accept the flesh and blood of Christ at that time. And within the period where he sat down and defiled himself by absorbing that kind of content into his mind, he had robbed himself of the quality that will, because Catholicism preaches that if you are not in a state of grace and you go and receive communion, you receive condemnation unto yourself. Yes. So I don't know why that person didn't know that. Maybe he's already addicted, so even though he was sitting in church, he could not contain himself and he did it. But at that point, a true Catholic would know that I am no longer in a state of grace, so I should not step forward for communion. But nobody is so far gone that God cannot redeem the person. Yeah. That said, I think Nigerians are deeply religious. I also think we are deeply spiritual.
Really?
Yes. I think also that we are very, very prayerful. But we are people who are hypocrites and amoral. We know right from wrong and do wrong. Are we spiritual? Yes. We are deeply, deeply spiritual. What is spirituality? It is your faith in a higher being. Whatever that higher being is for you. All these people doing juju and witchcraft up and down, what do you think that is? It's spirituality. It doesn't have to conform with the one you do, but it is spirituality. Yes. Religion, you are doing something according to certain rules and regulations. That's why they say, this person goes to that restaurant religiously. So we are religious, we are spiritual, we are prayerful. Some people will pray so loud that even as a Christian, you want to start raining curses on them because they woke you up from sleep. And you have a hectic day ahead of you. We are all of those things. But we also know right from wrong and choose to do wrong. Then go back and pray and get spiritual and go to church or mosque and all of these things. That said, it is not peculiar to Nigeria. Yeah. It is a global thing. And it seems as if where morality and things like that are concerned, we are falling deeper and deeper into the trenches. All you have to do is take a look at social media. Yeah. And your spirit, sometimes I see something that very young people are doing and my blood runs cold and I have goosebumps. Not because I was very holy at that age, but whatever bad thing we were doing at our age compared to our peers today, it's like child's play. Yeah.
You even had fear of God.
It's literally, first of all, your parents will do you. You will fear your parents on earth before you start fearing God. So that was a bit of a limitation too. Yeah. Then the larger society we were still extremely communal. We were still practicing collectivism in its true form. If you are here messing up and being a little monkey, any adult that is there can discipline you and it will be okay. Yes. Now, I will see somebody's child doing wrong, something egregiously wrong, and I will be hesitant. Yeah. if I scold the person, because sometimes that child is like that because they have the parents backing to be like that.
Yes.
So you cannot say anything when somebody's child is misbehaving in front of you. You keep quiet. And as a result of that, things are going haywire. People now take sin is being rewarded.
Yeah.
The more sinful, immoral, and
The more likes.
and weird and bizarre you are, the more money you make.
True.
So sin is being rewarded with very good money.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is attracting more people.
Yeah.
That said, with regard to the corruption index, permit me to laugh. Those things don't bother me anymore, you understand? Somehow, Nigerians, we've accepted these labels. Until Trump came recently, was was the United States not the bastion of morality in the entire world?
I agree.
Were they not the moral standard for the entire world, despite what we see them doing on social media?
They're not a moral standard.
Oh yeah, but you will
Moral
not
standard?
find you will not
But you
find
will not
that moral.
find it.
Yeah.
That's how they present themselves.
Yes.
We are so perfect. Our politicians are so marvelous. When last did you see any politician, any American politician's name tied to corruption? Never.
Yeah.
It's small African countries that don't know their left from right.
They peak.
The president of that country is #1 on immorality and corruption in the whole world.
But there
the
was-
president of Pakistan is #2 in immorality and corruption. The president of Burundi, you know, they are this moral. They are on this moral high ground
Yes.
where they point everybody that is bad and immoral and until Trump came and said, listen, no, you see all those foreign interventions we're doing. We were using style to spy on you people. And using style to... And this was something that everybody was already low-key suspicious of. But when the president of your country opens his mouth and says it, where are they on that number, on that Amnesty International something?
There was no mistake.
They are not.
They are probably
They are
not
never
in
there.
there.
They are not there.
And you'll be shocked, they are the first.
And let me tell you something, when it comes to many of these Western countries, their own corruption is so well packaged and streamlined and highly institutionalized that it is not on an individual basis.
Yeah.
It is not on a, come and give me $1 million. I would do. No. It is so well done
Now the
that it is about,
pay into the charities.
it is
It's
about
charities.
entering people's countries, ripping the natural resources, and then pretending that you are there. So listen, Nigeria can be #1 on that thing and I will ignore it. If you are in trouble, you need a Nigerian to be there for you.
True.
A Nigerian will give you the last thing he's wearing to protect you from cold.
True.
I see videos, random videos online, foreign countries. Somebody
Yeah,
will walk
I've
up
seen
to a
that.
random black person and be like,
Give me
I'm
$1.
so sorry,
Yeah.
I'm
And
starving.
they give you-
Yeah.
Yes.
And the person who also has not eaten today
will
will
give-
dig out
yes.
their, and when you now, eventually when the whole thing unravels, who is this person?
It's a
It's a
Nigerian.
Nigerian.
Yeah.
We are good people.
Some of us are good.
Most of us are very, very good people. But unfortunately, you cannot be with people that don't have sin. Christianity says everybody has sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Yeah.
This is a global thing. It is
Yes.
not a Nigerian thing.
Yes.
And for my part, I believe that I don't know about making heaven or hell because ultimately only God determines that. But if I'm in trouble, I want a Nigerian to be there.
All right, so let's quickly go to Hajia. If she's still with us to find out her own bits about Nigerians being more
No, it's
religious than
That's how I feel
you
from
know,
my soul.
spirituality, and Devon just added another dimension to it, which is moralistic. What's your take on that? And then what are those little things that we do? We may not notice that they are taking us back from making the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom of God. Maybe we still do them because we think we can get away with them.
Actually, looking at the religiosity and spirituality of Nigerians are religious people and our spirituality is very high, even though, as Coach Didi said, we are, and Sister Divan, we are a little bit hypocrite sometimes, knowing the truth and then hiding to do what is wrong. And looking at the season, which is Ramadan that just passed by, what is the essence of Ramadan? The essence of Ramadan is to increase you in piety. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Like Allah wants you to increase in your piety, piousness. After Ramadan, are you going to go back to your bad deeds, or the Ramadan has molded you to shape you, to make you a better person after Ramadan? And beyond Ramadan, what will you do? Are you going to abide by those actions that you exhibited during Ramadan, or you are going back to your bad ways or your hidden activities? Actually, looking at making it to heaven or hell, I also believe that depends on the Almighty who created us. But He have set the rule. It's just for us to abide by the rules, follow the guidance, and we make it to heaven. For us as Muslims, we are supposed to follow the true teachings of the religion, which is set in the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. All the rules, the do's and don'ts, we are to abide by them. And those are the guidance, hudan lil muttaqin. That's a guidance for those that are pious. And Islam says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu udkhulu fi silmi kafa. O you who believe, enter into the religion in complete way. You are not supposed to select what to do and what not to do. Being moral, being religious, being spiritual is all guided. So it's just for you to follow the true guidance. Any person that Islam believes that any person that you see doing immorality or misbehave in any sort of manner is not following the true teachings of the religion, because the religion has set in principles talking about your neighbors, your friends, your family, your elders, the old people, the sick people. Nothing is left. Everything is being taught in the Quran and is being exemplified by the Prophet ﷺ in his life pattern. So we as individuals, our spirituality and religiosity are interconnected, but depending, because spirituality is more of individual, but religion is all about faith and belief. And I was just laughing when Queen Lizzie was talking about a verse from the Bible, which is also a verse from a Quran chapter 7, Surah Al-A'raf, verse 40. It also states that وَلَا يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ حَتَّى يَلِجَ الْجَمَلُ فِي السَّمِّ الْخِيَاطِ, that those that are arrogant and misbehave, those that deny the truth, will never make it to heaven unless that camel is going through the needle. So Islam and Christianity, the holy books, have taught us values that we just have to abide by them, and then we see a very improved behavior and manner in the society. Nonetheless, sometimes our religious leaders might be teaching us things that are beyond our understanding or beyond our capacity, but they need to come down to the level of individual. You see a scholar discussing about faith, and there are different people and different level of faith. There are grassroots people, there are intermediate, there are high level people. Sometimes it's not that they are wrong, but the level of understanding of that individual might be very low. So when explaining, they should try to explain to the grassroots. And we, the followers, we need to understand our scholars. Some of them are scholars of scholars. They are not ordinary scholars for everybody. So we need to identify who is who and stop following those social media scholars that are scholars, not scholars. They are scholars. They just aim and do their things the way they want to do. And I believe in Nigeria, like majority of us will make it to heaven. Because we are religious and we are spiritual.
Optimism. I believe we are more religious.
We're more religious.
We're more religious
means
because
that we go to
spirituality is
church,
individual.
we go to mosque,
Yes.
we do what we are supposed to do.
To
We wear the
do.
abaya, we observe
do all
hijab.
that.
But the spirituality, the
not.
connection with God that tells you do wrong, do right, even when no one is watching. No, we are not.
We're not.
Because most times we are hypocrites.
Yes.
We do what we show people what they want to see.
Yes.
We are supposed to be this way, but right behind, we do the exact opposite. So we are not spiritual. Let's be realistic. We are not spiritual.
I agree with
we
you.
are more religious.
We are more
Because
religious.
if we were spiritual, we will not kill each other.
Yes.
If we were spiritual, we will not hurt each other. We will not steal from each other. And we will definitely not be very corrupt.
Okay, that's good. And a lot of people, you want to ask
Yes, I
something?
wanted to say something. You see, like she said, we have so many churches, we have so many mosques. Are they the pastors and the
Imams.
all the Gbogboes, are they really preaching the word, or they want to make money out of that congregation? So if you look at it, like there's a pastor that I respect so much, and I realized that all he's been doing for the past 4 weeks is naming Christian musicians and how much they charge. I don't think that's your business. So you see the problem. Look, they do the people who go to your church are doing a Bible
Study.
thing. They are paying. They are doing premarital. They're paying.
You pay for premarital services?
Some places they pay. So you see, the thing here is we have missed it. Instead of them gaining more to Christ, gaining souls to Christ, all most of them are doing is a business. Let's say it the way it is.
I agree completely.
Let's just say it the way it is.
You see, and they didn't pick it off the floor. Just about 3-4 days ago, I shared a video on my Facebook page of an American pastor who said that he needed to raise a certain sum of money, I think $40,000, he said, and proceeded. In church, we have people who, we have ushers in church, you know, guide you to your seat and things like that, keep order. And he proceeded to announce that the ushers should shut the doors at the point of collecting money. That has never happened in the history of the church.
What does
Yes.
it mean to shut the doors?
Nobody should go out until all that money is remitted.
Jesus.
The police had to arrest him because that is forced imprisonment. I don't even think he knew. He repeated 4 times, shut the door. He told the ushers, after he had said that everybody must contribute $20 each, he now proceeded to order the ushers to shut the doors.
So he
and
cannot
probably
leave.
they were just standing around stunned because it's not something that happened. Tithing has been abused.
Oh, yes.
If you go into the Bible and read carefully what tithing entails, it goes beyond that 10%. And there's so much more tied to it. They never tell you all that so much more tied to it. They focus. One person, one of the most prominent ones, once went as far as saying that if you don't tithe, you will go to hell.
Yeah.
Come on. Surely if tithing was such a big deal, Jesus Christ himself would have been collecting
Yes.
A lot.
and probably
He
would
was
have been.
Thank you.
If you go from the New Testament, Jesus Christ does not say anything about tithing.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Tithing is in the Old Testament. It's very, I don't want to go into it. If you want to pay and you are convicted
That's
of paying,
it.
works for
You
you,
do
that's
it.
fine.
Yes.
But don't give people the impression that if they don't pay, God
go
is
to
going to
hell.
curse them, they are going to hell, and then people who don't pay, no. You are comfortable with paying, pay. The person that is not comfortable with paying
Leave it.
might even be giving more than you that is
Agreed.
tithing.
Yes. True.
There is tithing and there's giving. I remember there was one time when I strolled out of my own church a little bit, and this person thought he kept insisting, you have to pay your tithe, you have to pay your tithe. What I wanted to give that church was more than
the tithe.
the tithe that this person wanted. But when the person went so much at me for the tithe, I gave the tithe and hung on to the money I actually wanted to give.
Yeah.
It happens. A lot of people are writing to us, but Let me quickly take this one. It says, good morning. I'm watching you from Ghana, and I'm really proud of you. Thank you. This is a former colleague, a retired colleague, Mr. Gorman, and he says at the moment he's in Ghana and he's watching us. Thank you very much, Mr. Gorman, and I hope you're enjoying Ghana. And can you put politics in this topic? I love your show. Isaac from Ijesha, Lagos. Isaac, why do you want politicians inside our program?
Oh, there's politics in religion.
Yeah, there is politics in religion.
Big time.
Okay, I know. Yeah. Okay, good morning all. To my own opinion, Nigerians are more religious than spiritual. For me, Nigerians would not make heaven if only, not only by the, not okay, except for the mercy of God, because the level of corruption and criminality is always increasing, almost on a daily basis. This is Albert Boso from Adamawa State. Thank you very much. And I want to believe that change will start from all of us, including you, Mr. Albert. So let's see if we can meet in heaven, since I don't know you here on earth. People claim to worship God but don't fear God. They violate the principles and commandments of God. How would they make heaven? Very few Nigerians that are committed to God in truth and spirit will make it to heaven. Majority will go to hell, especially our leaders. Wow. Okay. I quite understand your point, but remember that they say we should not judge, so I will not be judged. Good morning, ladies. I think we are mostly religious, deeply religious, than spiritual. Ginika from Lugbe. Ginikachi, thank you so much. And I'll take one more. We are more spiritual than religious. You see people praising God in their local languages, but they are neither a Muslim or a Christian. On the whole, our spirituality is very high. Kudos to you guys in the studio. You're all wonderful. Mohammed from Okene in Kogi State. Thank you very much, Mohammed, for that. And I know there's still more from the WhatsApp, but let's talk a little bit more before we read them all. Now, I want us to look at our daily lives. You know, I'm a federal government worker, and a lot of times there are things that I take for granted as a staff of NTA, and then wherever you work, and we think, okay, we're being smart by half. Sometimes again, we also think, okay, what they're paying me is not good enough for this. And at the end of the day, we break rules and regulations. You know, one of them I say is truancy. You're supposed to be at work, and you're not at work. And your mind, you're complaining, how much are they paying me? How much are they paying honorables? How much are they paying councillors? My dear, I always say, if you can't, make do with whatever you're paid, you have an option of leaving than staying on and you're not there. And at the end of the day, beyond just offending your organization, beyond just, denting your good name, can that character be, excluded from things that can make us go to hell?
Of course not. I shared the story of the day my daughter told me, Didi, you need to be fired.
Oh, wow.
She was 7 years
From
old.
work?
Yes, she was 7 or 8 years old. Because I was not going to work.
Yeah.
You see, when I tell people, and I'm not saying this proudly,
And
please
that's why you
forgive me.
quit?
Yes. Because when I became,
you've left?
I resigned.
okay.
But I had been wanting to resign for a while, to be honest. And then family would say, no, don't resign. You should build a career. And I said, look, I don't. When I get there, I feel my spirit goes down. But when goes for coaching, and it lifts my spirit.
Exactly.
But one day, my daughter said, are you still a civil servant? She was 7 or 8 years old. You need to be fired. To be honest, I felt so ashamed of myself because I tell parents we should raise our children to know the difference between what's right and what's wrong. My daughter challenged me, an 8-year-old, me 40 waiting. I had to receive sense, and that was the minute I began to process my resignation, because I realized, look, what will I teach this child? What kind of Nigerian is she going to be when she sees me? Because we are the typical Nigerians. We go to work, we don't go to work. To be honest, God help us.
She challenged you based on what you had taught her.
Yes, to
and
do the
she
right
saw that
thing.
you were
Doing all
you
the
talked
work.
the talk,
Yeah,
so you
and
were
I
not
wasn't
walking
doing
the
the
walk.
work. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was where it came from. So
Absolutely.
she was confused and she needed you
Absolutely.
to
And
clear it
by the time I did, I came and told her, I think I've resigned. I've resigned. And I felt lighter, to be honest. I felt lighter. And I think that's what it should be. The standard must be high, even if we fall short of it.
That's the way it should be. Let's go to Joy to actually speak on it, because a lot of times there are small things we do. For some of us who are women, they give you money for markets. You get one list original. You
No,
get
but
the other one.
No, but right now you can't cut corners with the market.
Even if you wanted to, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Let me see if my mom is watching that, she'll be laughing. Why do I say that? I think we were cracking a joke some days ago, and she said, from the money that her husband used to give her, she used to do this. From the money her husband used to do this, she used to do this extra. She used to do this from that same money.
For market.
For market. She did almost everything. But right now, with the situation that is there, we don't have, look, you can't cut corners.
You can't, even if you
can't,
wanted to, you
even
can't.
though if you try, because you find out that with the money that you have now, you go to the market, every day the prices change.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you even go, you now find out that your list, you can't even buy everything that you are meant to buy.
Yeah.
So you just go, because let me crack a joke. The person knows herself. Yesterday we were talking about, when tomatoes went up.
Yeah.
And some people now decided to go and buy shombo.
Okay.
I didn't call names.
Yeah.
They went to buy shombo, but they didn't understand the shombo that they were buying. Because the person in the market just said, okay, is this, you can use this. But most of the time you use shombo for moi moi. Because most of the time it's the color. Let it come out red. So the person bought shombo, bought a whole goat, did everything, and she cooked. And when she tasted it, it was bitter.
She did it with the seeds?
No, she didn't.
It doesn't matter. It can be bitter.
You see, if you don't know how to cook
the ration
with shombo, it's a no-no. Do your tatashi.
Yeah.
But you see, because of the situation in the country these days, the madam went to the market. Shombo was cheaper. She asked them questions and she bought it. By the
This
time,
girl is a bad person.
by the time,
do you know who is the same quantity as the tomato?
So by the time the thing was done, the whole thing was bitter.
Do we know this person?
Yes,
Joyce.
I know the person.
It's
me. So you see what I'm saying?
I was trying to check, buy cheaper something.
That's it. So you see, right now, it doesn't work with onje, with food.
That said, I want to boldly proclaim, hand on chest,
that
I don't do it.
Money for food.
I don't.
I know they
It's a wrong.
I
It's
don't
a
do it.
no-no.
It's haram.
I don't touch
It's
it.
haram. It's
Okay.
Money for food is money for food.
Thank you.
If I take out of it, I don't take out of it in secret. Okay, I'm
There
keeping
is
it. I don't
nothing to
do
take.
it. There's nothing. First
not
of all,
even enough.
I have a big home. If I do that thing, we'll be now malnourished.
And it's even a no-no.
No, but
because
excuse me.
that
I'm
is
learning for the
dishonesty.
first. I'm learning for the
Yes, it's
first
haram.
time. What is haram?
Haram, it's unlawful.
Yes.
It's punishable.
Yeah,
God
it's
will
not
punish-
right.
theft. It is theft. We are taught that. You see, when you are given, it's like a trust. You have been given something to do something. You are supposed to buy this phone for 10 naira. I gave you 10 naira. If I got it for 9 naira, I'm going to give you back 1 naira.
Jesus.
Yes.
But you know what? I'm looking at you and I'm in shock.
Why? Because many women do it, right?
It's not just women.
It's supposedly like the gold standard
Yes,
for how
yes,
women
it's a
behave,
lifestyle.
and
It is wrong.
My mother didn't
All
do it.
shades of wrong.
Wow.
My mother didn't.
Yeah.
do
My
it.
mother was the
I don't
financer,
do
so
it.
she didn't have to do it. It was her own
I
money.
don't
No,
do it.
that's what I'm saying. Because see, let me tell you, you already had with them, you had extra. So you could buy, because what my mom was telling me was that, from there, she was doing extra for food.
For the food.
Not
Uh-huh.
outside
Thank you.
the food.
You buy extra things.
That's it.
No, but the
Yeah.
thing is, the belief is,
Yeah.
women get an extra purse out
Yes,
of
and they do
money
something
for
else with it.
housekeeping
Yes.
or for
Yes.
food.
See, where
They
you
do
are
that
that
I
shape-
think that
Where
women who find themselves in that position are women who are married to men who are exceptionally stingy.
Yeah.
They
True.
don't give them anything.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So they need to have something for a rainy day. Probably they're not working. If they're working, they're earning peanuts. And when they come to the man and say, "Oh, please, I've run out of my womanly
Too
things,
bad.
my
Yeah.
perfume. I
Too
want
bad.
to look good."
Yeah.
You know, I'm broke. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you leave the woman no choice.
Not all,
if
not
that's-
all.
If that same woman is she's now
But
looking
that's
like
haram.
a witch.
It's haram, yeah. It's haram.
If
No,
she's
but
now,
even in Islam, sorry to interrupt you, even in
Yeah.
Islam, some scholars say if your husband does not do due diligence with you,
You should.
also
you
haram.
can take, no, it's not haram. You can take from it.
Fantastic.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
you're
No,
learning
yeah,
every
we
day.
learn.
Yeah,
Okay, so what
I don't
many?
know, but if that same woman is now looking like a witch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is the person who will use how she's looking to go and convince side chicks. How his
How
wife,
about
since he
his-
married her, she doesn't look after. He will not tell them how, I know they drop money for her again, and did this and all of that again. No.
Okay,
so
so
I don't
just-
blame the women who do it.
Just
I'm
before
saying
we
that
go,
it's
No,
not
it's
something
wrong.
I do.
okay.
I don't do.
Somebody says, good morning, ma. I love today's topic. We are truly more religious. We are not spiritual. And let's stop all this killing. And you didn't write your name, but I see you with cherubim and
Too many
seraphim clothes
killings.
on your WhatsApp DP, and you say you're writing from Abil Kuta. And this person said it is not Old Testament. He says it's not Old Testament.
Testament.
What are you writing?
You want to
That
talk about the
preaches
tithes?
it's the New Testament.
Testament.
Okay, that's about tithes that
Yes,
he
about
mentioned.
tithes.
And then, good morning.
No,
I
I
like
think I
your
know the difference
program.
between OT and NT.
In church is voluntary. Nigerians are good people. In religious. Okay, it says your name is Soya. And just one more before we go. There's so many of them. Kudos to you guys in the studio. As a reference, in America, one of your guests took us to. It's a high time both Muslims and Christians would see our pastors and afar as our teachers that teach us what is beyond Bible and Quran. No more semi-godding. Okay. Spiritually, many of us are more godly than those you are running to. Stop worshipping human beings. Alaika from Ilorin, Kwara State. Thank you so much. You have so many messages, but time is no longer. Let's quickly go to Hajia, just for 30 seconds. Can you share your final thoughts, Hajia?
I just want to say the Quran taught us that رَبَّنَا وَسِئْتَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ رَحْمَةً وَعِلْمًا فَاغْفِرْ لِلَّذِينَ تَابُوا. That our Lord encompassed us, encompassed everything with His mercy, and He is always forgiving. So we should try our best to always do the right thing and always seek for forgiveness and seek for guidance from those that are knowledgeable, not, as I said earlier, the scholars in the social media, but from scholars, the actual scholars. And hopefully Nigeria will be better, and the Nigerians will also be better, and will make it to heaven, God willing.
Right, thank you very much. Inshallah, we'll make it. Final thoughts? One or two words?
Oh, well, I think we should try and be caring. For me, that is more spiritual than making too much noise talking about tithes and other things.
All right. Yep.
We should remain good people. And when we sin, let's pick ourselves back up.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, I would say right is right, even if no one is doing it, and wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it.
Exactly.
Okay. That said, I will just tell you that you should do unto others what you know that you would like others to do unto you. That's the better spirituality and religiosity and morality, if you ask me. We'll see you again next week. But I know that, Ehi, you had some sights and sound of Eid. Do you have it? Can we just see for 1 minute and then you roll your end credit from there?
Mun sha ruwa lafiya ya Allah ya maimaita. Mun sha ruwa lafiya ya Allah ya maimaita. Murnar barka da sallah ce, Salisu mai kiɗan jita. ni ne aina tsara ta ayo. Allah karbi ibadar mu, wata guda cucu mu muka yo ibadar mu, ya Allah ya karba, ya Allah ya karba, ya Allah ya maimaita, waƙar barka da sallah ce, waƙar barka.